So this is the third part of the EMG Plus Advanced tutorial, and in this part we will be covering IPA mode, or interference pattern analysis. So F4 is what you push to get to interference pattern analysis, and this is to look at the overall interference pattern of your EMG signal, and typically during patient recruitment. So typically you'd have the patient you'd stick the needle in the muscle and have the patient relax and then go to full recruitment slowly, usually over about 10 seconds or so, or 20 seconds. And what this mode is going to do is going to automatically collect epochs of data from that baseline and plot those data points into these graphs. So these cloud plots are, in some muscles they do have reference limits. They're based on concentric needles. So the green area here is basically your reference limit for this particular muscle that we've selected. Some muscles won't have any reference limits for them, or if you're using a monopolar needle, you won't see the green. You won't want to use the reference limits either. So interference pattern analysis, the way it's going to work is you're going to stick a needle, and then you're going to start recording and tell the patient to slowly go from relaxed to full recruitment. So once you tell the patient to do that, just push F5 to start analyzing, and it's now automatically collecting epochs of data from that baseline and plotting those data points onto these three graphs. So that's what you see, these little plots here. And just like multi-map analysis, you'll want to sample different parts of the muscle. So once they go from relaxed to full recruitment in one section, just go to pause, adjust the needle to a different position, and then click F5 to start analyzing that new area of the muscle. And you'll want to sample the muscle in different areas to make sure you're getting data that's representative of the entire muscle and not just one part of the muscle. Once you've collected all your data, now we can look at the data that was collected. So we have three cloud plots here. The first cloud plot is amplitude over turns per second. So it's amplitude and turns. And this is actually the amplitude per turn and then turns per second, and this is the plotted graph you're getting. The cloud plots below actually just break this off into two different sections. So the bottom is activity, which is baseline activity, and in this case this is envelope, which is just another way of looking at and measuring amplitude. So this is amplitude over baseline activity, and this is number of short segments, which is really just another way to demonstrate turns over baseline activity. So we have amplitude over turns, we have amplitude over baseline activity, and turns over baseline activity. And so what this can show you is more than anything, it can really give you confirmation. If you were feeling like something was neuropathic or myopathic, you can come in here and see if it agrees with you. But you can see here, based on the plotted data, this is definitely trending towards myopathic in this cloud plot, as well as this cloud plot and this cloud plot too. It's still within the normal range, but definitely myopathic. Now this data set isn't from a bicep, so the data set probably is myopathic data, but it's from a different muscle, so it doesn't really fit with these reference limits sections. But that's how interference pattern analysis works. It's a very simple mode to run. Just push F4, stick the needle, and then push F5 to start analyzing, and then pause, readjust the needle, analyze for more. Typically people use between 10 and 20 seconds of data in each stick, having the patient going from relaxed to full recruitment. Again, it's totally hands-free. You can use a foot switch, or you can use your finger to just run stop, but the analysis is happening automatically, so we're just automatically collecting epochs of data from the baseline and plotting them on the cloud plots. So this is the fourth mode, interference pattern analysis. If you want to see the individual data points, you can always right-click, and you can click table view and see the table view. You can clear the plots. If you want to keep this data in your report, make sure you push store. If you don't want this data, make sure you push delete so it's cleared off for the next data set. If you do want to see the individual plots, you can always go to table view, and you can see all the different individual data points. And so that is the third and final part of the advanced EMG Plus tutorial.